Good morning. So this week we have 2 more lessons. You guys are going to tackle quadratic roots and then solving quadratic equations by factoring. So this is when we get to put together why we learned how to factor, and you learn how to factor to solve quadratic functions. So this week will be just like the last two. You have the 2 lessons and then you have the assessment, and we'll Zoom call on Thursday. Just a heads up. Thursday's Zoom call is a great time to ask for help. This past weekend, I got so many emails asking about the Edulastic, and I know that we all have different schedules, and maybe the weekend's the best time for you guys to work. But if you could at least look over the Edulastic, like you don't have to do all of the work by Thursday if that's not going to work for you. But it's just the easiest way for me to answer questions. I think in all 3 of the Zoom calls, advanced algebra, regular algebra, and math 8. I worked through problems, went through with a couple of misunderstandings from the Edulastic. So if you can, that's just like the best way for us to do that. So we'll still do it at the same time Thursday at noon unless somebody has an issue at that time. Just let me know. All right, so today we're going to do quadratic roots. So the first thing we need to do is give it a definition. So quadratic roots are the points at which the parabola intersects the x-axis. So then because of that, we also call them just x-intercepts. I'm gonna put that on one of these longer lines, which you guys know about x-intercepts. We call them zeros. So we talked about zeros of functions before and solutions to the function. There are 3 different kinds of solutions. There's 2, which is just a parabola hits at 2 spots. There's 1, and that one's gonna be where it just kind of like it's right on it, like the vertex would have to be right on it. And there's no, like it's up here maybe. And that would be no solution because it never crosses the x-axis. So to do this one, to do these, we are just going to go ahead and sketch it, and then we'll find the zeros for that. Another way to do it, and I can't do it right here on this video, on this camera, but just go to Desmos. If you go to Desmos, to the graphing calculator, and you type in your quadratic function, you're finding where it crosses your x-axis. So to find the axis of symmetry with this, I'm going to do negative b over 2a. So negative 4 over 2 times that 1 is negative 2. We're going to put it in the middle like we always do, and then we're going to put numbers around it. I already have this worked out, so if you want to do the actual math and plug these numbers in, pause this video now, because otherwise I'm just filling it in, just to save us time. So where are my zeros? My zeros are going to be at this negative 5 and at this 1, right? It would be negative 5 and a positive 1. You will also see that if you go on Desmos. And then my vertex was negative 2, 9. And you could even plot the other points, right? We have 8s on the other side, but we're just sketching. The way we write the solution, we do it in a solution set. So that's when we do those squiggly brackets, and we have negative 5 and 1. Okay. We just have other parabolas here, and I really do just encourage you to use Desmos here. It will save you some time. We don't have an air test this year, thank goodness, but if we did, you would just be graphing on that test to find the answers. So a discriminant is used to determine, it's just another vocab. This I really like because I think it helps us. The number of solutions. So you can, if you understand the discriminant, you can kind of just look at it. It's b squared minus 4ac. So just remember that we have ax squared plus bx plus c when we're in standard form. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about those variables. And so if you can quick plug that in, you can find if it's going to cross twice, only 1 time, or 0. So if d is greater than 0, there are 2 solutions. If it equals 0, there's only 1, and if it's less than 0, there's going to be 0 solutions. So for this one, I would have 5 squared, because that's my b, minus 4 times 1 times 4. it's 25 minus 16, which equals 9. The discriminant is greater than 0, so it's got two solutions. For this one, we have negative 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 10. 9 minus 40 equals negative 31. That's less than 0, so there's 0 solutions. So you guys kind of understand that. There are not any questions about the discriminant on Edulastic, so if that is confusing to you, it's okay. I'm really just looking for understanding the zeros of the function and the roots of the function in this lesson.